Hello. Right, I'm in all sorts of trouble today, so I'm kind of hacking the YouTube chat as a video capture instead, and see if that works. Ooh, that's too much. So bear with me for a couple of minutes while I fiddle about with this. Confinements like that, yeah. Wouldn't surprise me. I'll get in there though. So if I do that, let's see if that works. Doesn't look quite as funky as normal, but needs must. Does mean I can't see the Twitch chat though. And there's an even chance that chat's going to go off the bottom. Dear. Never mind. Right. Only 43 minutes late, but never mind. Wonder if I can make the background transparent. I'm going to fiddle with this until I break it again. Hang on. If I do filters, add, need a Luma key. Luma key. Luma. Ooh. That doesn't work, does it? I spy cookies. Yeah, gotta have snacks. Chroma key? That would be colour. That doesn't make any sense. Custom colour. Select colour. Pick screen colour. That one. Oh, no, that makes a whole lot disappear. Oh, why just black? I'm French. Because I'm having technical difficulties and I'm trying to get the chat to share in any way I can at the moment. I'm going to stop fiddling. I'll stop fiddling. Which one is it? That one. Show. There we go. So that means you get to see the chat before it gets moderated. That's fun. Why doesn't everything work properly? Let's see if Twitch is working at all. And Twitch is working. Good. Okay. Wow. Cellular difficulties technique. Indeed. And you're back. I am. I've given up with the restream chat, and I've just got a browser window capture. Unfortunately, that means I can only see the YouTube chat now. But there we go. I don't think there's any way around it. So, got recording to the hard drive running, the stream is running, and it is going to YouTube and Twitch. Outlaw looks broke, mine's on the bench also. Yeah, it had an incident with a Traxxas Stampede, and the Stampede won. Oh, here we go. So the chat is now gradually working its way off the bottom. That's nice. Crikey. Hang on, where's my chat gone? Chat. Firefox? No. Which one is it? I'm lost. Oh no, I've got to do scenes. Chat. Here we go. So it's not off the bottom by far. So what do I need to do? I need to go to... Can I just drag it up? Oh, here we go. And there's the other chat underneath. So if I line it up about there... That work? Yeah, that's not too bad. CC01 question mark. I have a Pajero CC01, but I don't have one of the new ones. Right. Ooh. That's not too bad. Alright. Excuse me. I'm investigating slow issues. Could be motor bearings. Could be. The stop motor's just bushed. So... And it's not the highest of quality. Assuming you've got the brushed, obviously. If you've got brushless, then it's kind of like the one I've got in there now. And they're ball raced. Is that white body defender is CC01? White body defender? Have I got a white defender? Or are you talking about something else? I'm looking around. White body defender. No, don't know what that is. Brushless 3400. Ah. ESC settings maybe, or something. Endpoint on the radio. Bit floppy. Off. Ooh. Little lot washer. Right. So change that camera. Will it focus today? That's the question. It's a bit dark. So what happened is on impact the bottom of... Come on. You gonna focus? No. Okay. So the bottom of the upright here has left some of itself on the pin. And that was because I was mucking about with a mate who's got a Traxxas Stampede, and we were going quite quickly, chasing each other around, and gradually we got closer and closer and closer until we met. And the Stampede was fine, but the little FTX didn't like it. Not too surprising really, because it's a lot lighter than the Stampede. So how does this work then? Can we push the pin out from the back? Yeah. Okay, so that's the bottom of the upright. Pretty tough. Stampede and FTX formicated. Can't use big words this early in the morning, assuming it's not a typo. Why don't I turn that light on? Marginally better, look a bit yellow though. It's probably because of that blue sky and sun outside. Oh, that's interesting. Looks like the wheel's been rubbing on the top of that screw. I like that the moderation's got absolutely oh, YouTube, what would we do? I meant that video before the live. Oh! That might have been one of my friends' ones. Hang on, if I do that. That one. I'm not sure what's under that. That's a guy in whoop, okay, what's going on here? There we go. Let's do that right. Yeah, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, that's what one of the people who runs with the Somerset groups. So I don't know what's under that one. That's amusing. Alright. So those same length, no different length screws. Very good. So far so good then. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, okay, that's come out. Well, this should be quite a quick swap. There's the new ones. And they've already got threads cut in them. I wonder if these have come off a truck that somebody's taken apart. Quite probably. Oh, and they've got L's and R's on as well. That's nice. Cool. Has anyone converted the Outlaw to a crawler? I've seen videos, and I think the guy has been in the chat on one of these who's put a SCX10 gearbox on an Outlaw and goes slowly everywhere, and that seems to work alright. Anyone else found that even the steel drive shaft shear under power? No. I find that with most of the crawlers, if you've got cheap steel drive shafts, they do wear out awfully quick. Because whatever the metal they're made of, steel or otherwise, seems to be ever so soft. Very nice. Get rid of that. Pin out entirely. So, let's see. Put the dog bone into the cup. Which hole? Outer hole. Goes in there. And the little self-tapper goes on the outside. The rear setup looks like a narrow version of my Canyon. Yeah. Could be. Because of course FTX don't make their own stuff. So if both trucks originate from the same manufacturer, wouldn't surprise me. Mine keeps snapping the grubs in the shaft. Gone through at least 10 plastic ones and 2 steel, running 2S. Wow. I've still got the stock plastic shaft on here at the moment. And even with brushless doing wheelies everywhere, it's surprisingly still in one piece. I was expecting it to snap the first time I ran it, but seems alright so far. Although I've got a 3000 kV, so maybe the little bit less power helps. Who knows? Why's that going round? Push harder. There we go. What do I do with the washer? There it is. Washer on. Oh, quite impressed by that. No stripped things or stuck things, although these nuts are all loose. No other collateral damage. Quite good. Too easy. I thought that was going to take longer. So, get to do the GMade GOM next, and that will take a while longer because there's a lot more to do on that. Excuse me. I need a mute button that I can actually find. Right. Put the other up right away. Really need to get my Hong Nor out. You're only allowed to run it in your garden, no? You're not allowed out. Unless you've got a big garden, of course. Servo. Need to change the name of the stream as well, I think. Figure out how to do that. Alright. Yeah, big fella. There's a Servo. Okay, how do you rename stuff? Edit. Well, got a spinny thing and I think the chat's gone dark. Aha. GMade GOM steering Servo. Save. That work? I think that worked. I need to do Twitch. GMade GOM steering Servo. Update. Updated. Cool. Alright, that should do. Haven't run it for years, no electrics in it as present. Make a good project though. Drive RC around the block whilst walking the dog for lockdown exercise. I've seen a lot of people taking their trucks out for a morning walk. Alright, so we've got your bog standard, cheap and nasty 20 kilo servo, which comes with a bunch of plastic arms and stuff, none of which we need. And it also comes with a nice metal arm, but I've already got one on the truck, so we should just be able to swap that. So it should all be quite straightforward in theory. Time for a cookie, I think. Better move it. Right. So to get to the servo, you need to take the bonnet off. Let's see if these work. Yeah. Always bin the bag and plastics that come with the servo. Yeah, for the RC trucks. Usually the plastic arms aren't the greatest. I have a large field next to me, so I've been taking a different truck out each day to test battery life. Half hour course of rough going, yeah. No, some people are doing quite well with the lockdown, I think. Got a friend in Wales, and he's been having a fine old time. Oh, that slipped. Try a different Allen key. Better. I've cheated and I've got myself a little micro truck and started digging up the back garden. Right, so the servo comes out with 4 screws, but it plugs into the radio, which is down under the speed control in a little box. And of course the speed control is actually covering up 2 of the screws, so that would be fun. So I've got to take the lid off the box and I need to take the servo arm off. And I'll do that first, I think. Oh, look at that, it's directly under the panhard bar. I guess if I take the steering linkage off, then I can tip it round. That'll work. It's working as usual for me, working on emergency vehicles. Oh, okay. Well, at least you're getting paid, I suppose. Because it's not a holiday. Wish I had a micro cooler before the local hobby shop shut. I ordered 2 from Model Sport at about 2:30 Thursday afternoon, and the DPD truck arrived just after 2 the next day. Which is slightly ridiculous, but there you go. Alright, so that's that free. God, there's a lot of wobble on that servo. And I wonder it was a bit iffy. Right, so that's the bottom end done. So now I need to peel the speed controller off so I can get to the screws. So question, what does the mighty Nick do for a living? Whatever anybody fancies paying me for, usually, but usually it's programming. Embedded more often than not. There we go. But every couple of weeks it's something different. Also, I do video editing when the need arises. Quite often, what to say, corporate introduction type videos. So the things you have to sit through when you get a new job. So that's always fun. I've been doing more RC stuff for other people, although that's wires a bit short, a minor thing. Ow. Can you program women? I haven't figured that out yet. If they were running C++ or something like that, that would be good. But I've got a feeling it's something like Fortran. And only a few people can understand it. Right, now we should be able to get the lid off. No one's figured it out. Welcome back. Gotta admit, my wife is cool with my hobby. That's good. Does she put up with it, or does she join in? That's the question. Okay, the lid should come off. Maybe. Oh, there it goes. There's the radiator. For a big truck, there's not much space for the electronics on this, which always seemed a bit silly. Right, servo screws. I have Asperger's, so she knows it keeps me happy. Ah, cool. So it puts up with you and the hobby. My missus hasn't seen my RC hanger in a couple of years. Best keep it that way. Need drivers with bigger handles. These are awkward. I've never been able to hold a job down, so I have to be delicate with spending. Ah. Yeah. Everybody's got to have something they do though, outside of what they have to. Oops. Where'd that go? Ah, stuck to the motor. Who'd have thought a magnet would suck the screws up? Right. Now, can we get this out? Yeah. Sweet. And servo. Am I going to be able to pack that back in again? Right, there we go. And there. Does that say what the torque is? No. Oh, there we go, old and new. And they are slightly different. I wonder where the servo tester went. Don't know, probably downstairs. Probably don't need it though. So if I hold this up, you can see the amount of play in that. And when you power it up, the servo wobbles back and forth. So that's probably the big tyres on here, without having a servo saver, has knackered it somewhat. That just slips. So loosen the two clamp screws. the centre screw. So that will just swap straight over. And then on the GOM, we've got these spacers that go over the lugs. So they just need to get swapped over. And assuming the servo height's roughly the same, it should be a direct fit. He says, not being able to get the spacers on. I think the servo lugs are a bit thicker. There we go. There's one. I've bought a lot of projects and second-hand RC goodies to get me through with delicate spending. Ah. So you like browsing eBay, I guess. Is it filter by buy it now, new listings, under 100 quid, and see what comes up. There we go. So get rid of the old one. Might have a play with that in a bit and see if we can fix it, but I've got a feeling it's terminal. So the servo, give this a brush, should just drop straight in. Looks pretty good. So I'll put the 4 screws in, just enough just to hold it in place, assuming they line up with the holes. There we go. Local hobby shop. Ah. Club friends been buying empty rashed airframes and completely retrofitting and bring back to glory. On about 70 large-scale RC planes, jets and warbirds. Nice. No, I quite like doing that with the bring and buy sale at the Wings and Wheels show. You can quite often get aeroplanes that obviously haven't been flown for a long time. And it's quite fun getting them all up and running again. Rebuilding the engines and all that. Although usually it's just the castor oil has gone solid in the block, but it's still fun. Almost forgot injection time. Ooh. Right, 1 servo. Now I'm going to assume the servo is going to work straight away, so I don't have to go downstairs looking for the servo tester. I'll just plumb it in straight away, although I suppose you could power it up on the speed control. That seems like a safe idea. Let's do that. Radio. Which radio? I have a choice of 3. Do they have batteries? That one does. Bruiser. Not seeing the GOM. Nope. So it must be the Hobby King branded radio. Have I got batteries? Nope. Diabetic. Yeah, I think you've mentioned that before. I think it was you. Pajero. One of these radios got to have the GOM on it. Maybe? Ah, GOM. Hey. Hey. Hello. Good morning. Good afternoon, whatever it is where you are. I need a battery. There's a battery. Wonder if it's charged. We're about to find out. Power button. That sounds about right. So let's set the steering trims to 0. So when we put the arm on, we can get it as straight as possible. Subtrim, channel 1. Set that to 0. And then set the endpoints, which are already at 100. That'll do. So that's the servo in its center point. So now we can turn it all off and put it back together. Damn, miss lots, lol. Well, I thought I'd try an earlier stream than usual and see who's about. Because not everyone can... where's that cable going? This is going to be fun to get in that box. Not everyone can be around at the same time. Right, okay, so that needs to tuck in there. Just not quite enough space. Oh, there we go. He says as he gets it in. Alright, let's fold the steering servo cable up. There's a lot of it. ESC. Alright, now I've got to try and hold all of those while I get that on and get all the cables out of this little tiny gap. That's a C or B. This one's a B. Hang on, put that there, and just behind me, just out of reach, is that one, which is a C. Wow. Internally, in terms of the processor and software, they're both the same, but this one has a nice little lithium battery instead of on the B, which normally runs on 8 AA's, but this one's modified to run on 4. Which makes it all quite convenient. Alright, how am I going to get these cables in? I'm trying to convert my one to LiPo. Ah. Most awkward radio box in the world. See, when you get the lid over, you can't see where the cables come out because there's an overhang. Maybe I should just cut the overhang off. That'll make it easier. So you think you got it about right. Have I got a hacksaw? Hacksaw. There's my saws. Bet they're downstairs. Yeah, I've got everything else but. I try mod the 1B buy brand new $5. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. They work pretty well though. See if anyone's trying to talk on Twitch quickly before I get a hacksaw. That's not the right one. Dashboard. Twitch. Ooh, or can I load it in there? That might work better. 0. Yeah, that's alright. Alright. Because China sell cheap, don't they always? Right, I'm gonna dig out a hacksaw. I'll be back in a minute. we go. Right. See the China AA as USB back. As USB battery charge. Ah, the C does. GT3C. Okay. Right. Cut the wolf off. Right, let's try that. Still a bit of an overhang on it, but it should make it a lot easier. Maybe. Where's your protective goggles? I think I've got a set in the kitchen somewhere. No, I'm a advocate of the safety squint. Unless I'm under a car or something, then I'll put them on. No, doesn't want to go on. Maybe we need to zip tie the cables together so they come out all nice and square. Is there enough room in there for a zip tie? Let's unplug the whole lot. Start again. Rusting eye is not pleasant. Yep. Send Discord pic. Discord pic? RC chit chat. Oh, those batteries. I know. Hang on. That one. There you go. Yeah, like little lithiums with a USB plug. I can't say I've ever actually tried them, but I've seen them in the shops. Right. Steering channel 1. That's happy birthday. Skip. Throttle. And gear shift. goes in there. Okay. No, that wants to be on this side. Lie Pro. I don't trust it. Yeah, I can understand that. Let's go back up. Come on, listen to me. Thank you. Been to the loo, have I missed much? No, just me cutting the end off the lid of the electronics box. And fighting with the cables to try and get them in the box. Because the box really isn't big enough for the 6-channel radio that I've got in it. Could swap to a 3-channel, but at some point I want to do all the lights and stuff. So I've got the 6-channel, so I can turn all the lights on and off, but never got round to it. That's on there. Because read about like bomb. Yeah. Well, lithium batteries, if they're not charged and discharged properly, are what should I say? They pack an awful lot of energy in a small amount of space. So yeah. I can never make my electronic installs look neat. The trick is to hide it all in a box. Preferably an opaque box. And lots of zip ties. Zip ties are good. Okay. So that's some of the wire taken up. Let's see how much we've got left. Quite a lot, I think. So that comes out there. That's the speed control, steering. Speed control is fine as it is. Okay. So that's all those wires together. So let's see if we can get them through the little slot. It's almost like the radio's got bigger. Definitely went in there before. Ah. Yeah. Oh, it's over the top. Oh, the wires coming out of the slot. I think they are. Alright. Time to put some screws in, but not do them up tight. So you can make sure the wires aren't getting pinched. Okay, that doesn't line up with the hole. Ah, there we go. Not possible with 1/12 scale touring car. Well, cutting the wires down to a shorter length and putting your own connectors on can make quite a good difference. Alright, why don't you line up? There we go. I try my best wire light hired, just mess up. I don't hot glue, just cast charge it. I have wide trailer. Yeah. Well, hot glue is quite handy for wiring with the RC stuff. Just a little blob every few inches. It's usually sticks fairly well as long as you're not anywhere too hot, and it's easy enough to pull it off if you need to. Leaving this on in the background, chores to do. Chores to do? That doesn't sound like fun. Yeah. Yep, they're not getting pinched. Very cool. Tighten these up a bit and check again. Yep, they look good. If I were a soy, why not? My new soldering iron rubbish, $100 wasted. Oh, that's not good. Got any alcohol left? Oh, a tiny amount. Let's see if it's enough. Because of course everybody's been panic buying this stuff, isopropyl alcohol. So there's almost none around. And I've got about 3 drips left. So that's all I got. Hopefully it will be just enough. have 2 times the tips, doesn't work anymore. Oh. Well, maybe you should just invest in a nice Heiko or something. Oh my god, it just started snowing in Kent. It's supposed to be summertime now. Can't have snow. You're doing it wrong. We've got blue sky here. Although, it's a bit cloudy, but still patches of it. Because I'm overseas, but my home good. Ah, right. So this is a short-term use thing, just to hold you over. Did that in the wrong order. Never mind. Yep. Scrambling to get all the kids' stuff in from the garden before it gets soaked. What's this background track? Apparently it's happens. They all come from the YouTube copyright free library. So I can't be held responsible for the quality of the music, because I just downloaded about 4,000 tracks and I just let them go. Alright, so that should all work. Whoops. Let's put that radio out of the way. I don't need it. But I do need that one. Right, can we see? Yeah. Because don't buy 2 because cars can't take home. Ah, so you can't take them home with you. Turn it on. There we go. Right, can I get the servo arm on with the panhard bar in the way? Probably not. So the easiest thing to do is pop the screw out that holds the panhard bar on, which has got a nut on the back. There's the parallel jaws. Also better have to take the wheel off as well. Oh, no, I can get to that. Just. Now put that out of the way. So we want the servo arm to be as close to facing directly forward as it will go and still sit on the splines. Like so. Right. Nip the top screw up and then loosen it again. And then the little clamping screws. Just need to get them tightened up. Because Australia don't care if I have a toolbox to take on the plane. Yeah. Don't know, it always reminds me of a friend of mine who, when would this be? Late 90s, I guess? Bought one of the first DV camera tape machines. Was it mini DV tapes? And it was something like a $2,500 camera. And rather than, should we say, risking import duty, he threw all the box and the manual away in the hotel room, and then at the airport on the way back he was using it to film. And he got away with it all the way back into the UK, no trouble. Well, I think airports work a bit differently these days, but still, good fun. Because, yeah, I have to post before ship. Oh yeah, send it by sea. Right. So that's the servo arm on, but what do I do with the screw? Oh, there it is. But currently it's offset very slightly. I don't know if you can see. So it's slightly to this side. So what we do is on the radio, if we go into the sub trim for channel 1, there we go. We can just tweak it a bit so it's facing pretty much straight. It will probably need a bit of trimming when we get it driving, because inevitably the length of the linkages and stuff are never quite perfect. But it will be a start. Now which hole? Inner hole? If you're wondering why the wheels are currently miles off from being straight, it's because the panhard bar is not linked up. So we do that, and then the panhard bar out goes in there with a screw. So that should be the steering working. Oh, looks pretty good. So we can put the nut back on. I take SBC 2-cylinder heads on the plane last year to USA to Australia. Yeah, well, wasn't there a bunch of guys that managed to take basically a whole Hemi engine in bits on an aeroplane in the US? Thank you for morning entertainment, Mojo. Got to bail. Alright, see ya. Have fun whatever you gotta do. Or not if it's not fun, I suppose. But where's the fun in that? Alright, endpoints, steering. So you want as much steering as possible without it picking up the axle. Because if we really go for it, we can move the whole axle with the steering, which is a good way of killing the steering servo. So we just need the steering to get to its mechanical endpoint, and no more. That'll do. I have take Hemi and engine block. So that should be the endpoints all set. Let's see if it can steer with the weight of the truck on the axle. That's not bad. You can hear it straining, but for how much should I pay? It's like £7 or something like that for the servo. I can put up with that. That'll do nicely. Right. Put the rest back together now. Tidy kitchen, make his lunch, walk dog. See you next time. Yep, see ya. Down there. On plane to Australia, right. Can't grumble for £7. Yep. No, expensive servos are nice, but these do. And one of the plus points is, because they're not hugely powerful, you don't accidentally break all the plastic bits with the steering servo. So they're practical too. I'm going to have to find something else to do after this, because this has all gone far too smoothly. Usually there's always something that doesn't quite go right. What else have I got that I can do quickly without having to buy bits? I wonder if we can fit a radio and speed control to the TXT1. So I'm pretty sure I nicked the radio and stuff off that a while ago. I have 4 new servos. C-hubs and knuckles are alloy on my racer. No chance of servo breaking them. You have to watch out with all the alloy stuff though. Because if they're mounted to plastic bits, then all it does is move the broken part further up the line. My servo makes 2 noises. 2 noises? That's skidding pretty badly. But never mind. Looks like I bent it as well. Cheap screwdriver, never mind. Use the bondus. Would rather break an arm than a knuckle, less aggro. Yeah, I suppose. One was making too much noise. Old one making too much noise. Yeah, some servos are just a bit noisy. The servo I've got in this for the gear shift, which is a Traxxas servo, that's pretty noisy all the time. Does work though. So I've left it in there. Right. Battery cable's long enough to get to. So I think that's it. I think this is unprecedented. That's two trucks done, and I haven't had to, other than getting a hacksaw, I haven't had to spend ages looking for bits or whatever. I haven't had to bodge anything. That never happens. Savox are noisy blighters, always chattering. Yep. Yeah, a lot of digital servos tend to be noisy, but the Savox ones, I don't know, it's like they do it on purpose. Oh, I have something to drink. And the other half of that cookie that I started earlier. And we have a look at the TXT1. Oh, wonder if the transmitter's charged up. Wonder where the transmitter is. It's probably downstairs. Open up the servo and the gear's crunched. Yeah, eat cookies, they're feeling left out. I can't eat them. That's alright, I'll have 2, one for you, one for me. I'll take the sacrifice. Right, next truck. Is there going to be enough space under the camera? That's the question. Oh, it's already got a speed control on it. So it just needs a radio plumbing in then. That's not so bad. So there you go. How's that? Big truck. So this one has got 4-wheel steering, servo at either end. It's got pan tilt for a camera, which is good fun, and a speed control that's already there, which I thought I'd nick for something else. So all we need is a 6, I think, channel radio. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 channels. Yeah, 5 channels, so a 6 channel should work. And of course this one is set up for FPV, so this on the back, this guy, is a 5.8 gig camera transmitter, and that is the antenna on the end of that. So when we're allowed out again, I'll be playing with this. So yeah, need to get a couple of radios. Because the first time I used that one was glitchy, right, full lock. Didn't do the servo any good then. Right, I'm going to grab a couple of radios. I'll be right back. There we go. Ooh. Is that music very quiet or it stopped? I think it's just very quiet. Let's skip that one. Yeah, I do. Right, back. So here we go then. So we've got FlySky / Turnigy 9X, which is a little bit dusty, and it does power up. Oh, the voltage is dropping 9.5. Yeah, should be right. So that's set for the Tiger 1. So I've got to remember how to use this thing now. Model select. Tamiya TXT. Select. Tamiya TXT. That was easy. So that should work. And that's got a bind button on the back. Good. So we're going to need a bind plug. Where's the bind plugs? There's the bind plugs. So that goes in the top one. I've got no clue which of these servo leads goes where, which is always a good start. Aha, so I've got extension leads on the steering and they're Futaba colours. So that is the steering on the front. So that's probably going to be channel 1. So let's try that one. Channel 1. I could really do with a receiver pack so I don't power up the entire truck. I don't think I've got one handy. Send pic Discord. Aha, I'll have a look in a sec. Ah, receiver pack. Perfect. What's on Discord then? Ooh. Ah, so that's your truck bed trailer. Can I scroll up? Ah, that's just your batteries. Okay. So that's your drift Toyota and pickup bed trailer. Very cool. Right, so if I plug that in there, we should get flashy lights. Yep. And then if we hold the bind button on the back of this and power it up, that light's gone solid. So we can turn him off, pull out the bind plug and turn it back on. That's not right. Turn that off and on. Oh, it's off. Hey. So what do all the controls do? Because I can't remember. Right, so that's about it. So channel 2 should be the rear servo, which is that one. That's in crab mode. That one. That's not it. Ah. Hey, 4-wheel steer, front steer. Sweet. That seems alright. Yep, my mate built K5 Blazer because not cut body. So you've built the K5 for a friend? Because he doesn't want to cut the body, maybe? Alright, throttle is channel 3, but I'll wait to fit that. So pan is on 4. So that's this servo. Where does that one end up? It's got to be that one. Like that. Alright, so that should be pan, I think. Yeah. That works. And then tilt is on channel 5. So that should be, oh, That one? No. Well, that one. I seem to have 3 more plugs. Ah, no, that's power for something? Yeah. So that's tilt. So tilt is on channel 5. Tilt. Yeah, that works. Sadly, RC4 drive stopped selling K5 Blazer. Ah, that's kind of just a clodbuster body though, isn't it? Or did they design one from scratch? What does that connect to? I haven't got any more things. It's got to go somewhere. Oh yeah, that's throttle. Ah no, that one is composite video, so that one should connect to that, which is the radio, the FPV radio. Yeah, that one goes in there. So that's just that one left. Okay. So one of these is like a dual rate on throttle, which is that one. So that's reduced throttle. Right. So now I can unplug the battery. And you can plug in the speed control into channel 3 because I've got a strange setup. There we go. I forgot who make. Ah. Right. So has this got a power switch? It does. And it says off. So it shouldn't take off immediately. No smoke. That's always good. So let's lift up the chassis, which is really heavy. Oh, sounds good. That's not the throttle. That's the throttle. Ah. Cool. That works. Cool. Let's stick the radio down. I've already got a pad of sticky on there, but it's not very sticky anymore. So let's peel that away. Now I haven't got any alcohol left to clean all this, so I'll just have to give it a good wipe and hope for the best, because can't get from factory. Ah. Bit dusty. Okay, see if this works. Go that way around. Stick down there. That's pretty cool. And then the antenna should come up there and zip tie on. Let's have some red zip ties. I'm building 60 series LC body 3D printer. Is that going to be a commercial one, or are you going to give it away? Put it on Thingiverse. Sweet. Giveaway. Very nice. There we go. So usually on the front there's a mount, which I think is downstairs of course, to fit a what was it, a Flycam 2 if I remember rightly, up on the front, and then this little connector there plugs in the back, and the video then comes up to this guy, which transmits at 5.8 gigs, and then that's powered through this connector, which goes to a 3-cell lithium. And then the two batteries, although this isn't quite the right one, but they sit flat in the back on top of each other. And line of sight, assuming there's not hills and stuff in the way blocking the antenna, you get a good half-mile or so of range. So not too far up the road from me is a place called Burton Dasset, which is all a green open space, and there's a bunch of car parks with little roads linking them up, and it works really well up there. Pretty much perfect. So if we power him up again just to make sure. Yeah, that sounds good. You can see with this stick, I think, there we go, you have the pan tilt. So the pan tilt camera has got a big toothed pulley on it. So with the standard 90+ degree of motion, it gets essentially geared up. So we can look almost all the way around and back on ourselves. So with that all the way around, you can look at the back tyre. So if you're driving along and you get stuck, you can have a good look around and see where the problem is. And of course you can look like that and look down and see what's in front of the front tyres. Works quite well. And with the 4-wheel steering, it does turn relatively tight, but these old TXTs and the Juggernauts and the Clodbusters aren't known for their good turning circle in the first place. So every little helps. But then, which one was it? If I do that, that locks out the back axle. So when you're cruising, you essentially have less steering sensitivity because you've only got the one set of wheels steering. So it makes it a bit more stable. And then as you're driving, you can also look around and see what's going on. So that's an awful lot of fun, especially in the summer when people are walking about, because they don't quite know what to make of it when they see it rolling up and there's nobody in sight controlling it. A lot of fun. What we got here? Giveaway. Use in D110 RC 4-wheel drive chassis. Ah, long wheelbase. You're not that far from me then, Nick. Ah. I'm Junction 6 M40. Just a few miles away. So Burton Dassett's about 35-40 minutes up motorway. What else can I do? Gonna run out of projects. Hello, hello Roma. Is there anything else quick I can do? Looking around. That one's done, that one's done, that one's done. Could I get that one working? Northamptonshire-ish. Alright. So you're a bit further. I wonder if I get the pumpkin going. I'm not sure what that's got in it. Looks like it's got a speed control. So that one probably works as is. I do question the YouTube music sometimes. No, I don't think I've actually got any other projects to do. 1/16. Ah, right. How is the WPL C44 going? Well, in about an hour you'll see the next video. I'm in Wolverhampton, about an hour's drive from you. Ah. I think it's a bit further than an hour. But yeah, okay. Well, if you ever fancy a trip to Burton Dassett and you're on the dreaded Facebook, if you look up the group GMN Trucks, we do go up there sometimes. But most of the other guys are further away in the Reading area. So it's not too often. There you go, C44. So you've got the axles on. So this is a sneaky peek. I still need to adjust them a little bit because the angles are a bit off. But this is with the aluminium link mounts, which turned out to be interesting to fit, as you'll find out when the video goes live. So let's get rid of this thing. It's a little bit smaller, the WPL. Okay, too many radios on the floor. I'm gonna trip over something. Down there. Jolly good. There's the body. There's the body. go. It's an hour the way I drive. My diff was so bad I had to make a shim out of 2mm aluminium to make it work. That's a big shim. I'd call that a spacer, I think. But yeah, with these trucks, the WPLs, unfortunately you can't really expect them to work out of the box. The quality of the parts just isn't that good. But it's fun to get it all working. It's a proper old project where nothing quite fits. There we go. Let's see if this goes on. Is WPL 1/16? It's supposed to be 1/16, but they're a bit big. So yeah, closer to 1/12. It kind of fits. There we go. Position that. There you go. Nice jaunty angle. My WPL rubbish. The older ones, especially the original B1, was a lot worse than they are now. These ones, the C44 and the current ones, are, what to say, they still have lots of problems, but if you want a project, they're alright. Requires fettling bits, filing things to make them fit. But yeah, alright. Just my rusty bucket. Paint. Gotta have paint. Well, I haven't got anything else to do. Oh, I'll tell you what. I can show you a preview of what's coming up next week. I'm going to hopefully add some SMD LEDs to the C44. Oh yeah. Yeah. The LEDs and the little pods at the front would be good. Like a 1206 or something in there. Yeah. Alright, back in a minute. we go. Like set on the box. Someone. Mold, bind on it, make rust bucket, paint and patina. Ah. Excuse me. May just attempt to learn Arduino again to make a controller for the LEDs as well. Yeah. Arduinos are pretty good for that. With the Arduino, what should we call it, API or whatever, it makes it all ever so easy with what is it, pin mode, output and all that stuff. It's a lot easier than mucking about with the registers. So there we go. That's going to be next week's video. Because of course not allowed out to play. So to make the garden bigger I've got smaller trucks. So where's my pictures? So I've started digging up some of my back garden, which of course is blurry because of the webcam. But that's about a 2.5 meter wide strip, and the little yellow spot is this truck. So we've got that, and then also in the garden I've got a pile of rubble, so I'm going to make up some a little bit of a crawler course, but in 1/24 scale. So that should be a giggle. Oh, and the YouTube moderation thing is doing its bit again. Show. There we go. Meant to say bent. Ah, that makes more sense. I need to get off my butt and make a video. Colleen Bates. Colleen. Okay, Colleen. Streamlabs. Oh, everything's going on. Nice. See, that fits on the bed. Cut up 1/10 FJ40 to make a UFJ45 tray. Ah. Makes sense. Right, what can I drive over? Got some PC fans here. Hopefully that didn't crash the hard drive. Turn on the radio. It's probably just going to push these boxes out of the way. Are we on? Yeah. Yep. Hey, I'll tell you what, metal tools, they're a lot heavier. There we go, try that. But use a TF2 chassis. Ah. God, still pushing it out of the way. She's a bit speedy. See, this is what the government has reduced all the British people to now. It's a bit smoother. Yeah. What time is it now? It's lunchtime. Right. I think I'm going to pack up and get some grub. Ooh, you drove off the table. Yes, I'm hungry. I'm going to get some food. So, apologies for the slightly late start, but I couldn't get the YouTube stream thing to work with Restream, so I had to do a manual setup, which then meant that the Restream multi-chat for Twitch and YouTube didn't work. So I now have a screen capture of my YouTube chat overlaid on the left, which means if anybody said anything on Twitch, I haven't seen it, so apologies for that. But otherwise the stream seems to have gone okay. What did we do? We swapped the upright out on the FTX Outlaw, which went far too easily. Then we swapped the steering servo on the GMade GOM, which again went far too easily and took a lot less time than I thought. Then we fitted a 6-channel receiver to the TXT1, which again there weren't any problems, so that didn't take very long. And then we mucked about with these for a few minutes. So yeah, that all went far too well, other than the YouTube problems. See, usually I say this won't take very long and it ends up taking 3 hours, but today, completely the opposite. You can never tell. Right, so thanks for watching everybody. I shall leave that on, no, not BRB, on that for a few minutes. I'm going to go and get some grub and then I'll close the stream. So, cheers everyone. See you next time.